Okay, so as promised, I just wanted to do a quick video just to get us caught up on what's been going on so far this week. First of all, I'm going to go through some of the trades from the list this week, and then we'll look at some stuff that I'm looking at for the rest of the week, meaning tomorrow and Friday, and then I will go over some housekeeping matters. So let's start right here with GMCR. When I sent this list out on Sunday, um, I made note of the fact that GMCR, we were waiting for a break below 93.30 to get short. Obviously, I missed the first entry. My bid was below the market, so I didn't get filled. I know some members got filled and they did very well. I tried again with the June 90s. Again, my bid was below the market. I guess I was being cheap, but my risk parameters, it basically calculates what my bid should be, and I usually stick to the bid. I don't like to chase. So bottom line is that I missed a good move on GMCR. I know some members were in it and they did well. If you're still in it, you should recognize the fact that right now we have some volume coming in, and we could see an attempt at a short squeeze pretty soon. I'm not sure if we'll see that tomorrow or the day after, but it definitely looks like there's some buying coming in here, and we could possibly see a short squeeze. But GMCR worked out the way it should. I just didn't happen to get my bid into the market at a price that would get us in, so missed that one. The next trade that triggered for us was OKS. OKS, O'Neill Partners. It did trigger. We went into it initially because of this big volume move up on May 13th and figured we should get some follow through. We did get the follow through, but there was a rejection at this level here, right? And that's a very strong level. If you look at it, it goes back to here, 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 and here. So there's no surprise why it got rejected there. I was thinking it would hold up just under this level, consolidate a bit, and then move to the 200, but it didn't. It reversed on the same day, gapped down a bit on Wednesday, and that was a stop out right there. But it's still in play. It's still a good setup. I'm expecting it to retest this area and possibly break through it. So we just have to wait and see. So that's OKS. The next trade that triggered for us this week was Facebook, FB. As I pointed out on Sunday, this was a bullish setup by virtue of the fact that the volume on this pullback right here was way less than the volume on the up day, and the fact that it only retraced, well, it retraced less than half of the up move for Thursday, sorry, for last Thursday. It is a bullish setup. Normally what you'd see is something like this. The setup like this, you'd normally see something like that. It would form a bit of a flag, and then it would go up on this day, break out on the top of the flag, and then make a run for this area. Unfortunately, that didn't happen this time. It actually ran up into this minor resistance right here. Right, ran up into that minor resistance right at the red line, then kind of backed off. But here's where the beauty is. This was a beauty of a stop run. We don't see this very often, but if you ever wanted to see a textbook example of what a stop run looks like, this is it. We had price come down today, right in this area, shake out everything that was down there and then retrace. Why did it come down here? Well, basically, it came down here by virtue of the fact that, or because of the fact that we had a bullish setup. Many people who recognize a setup like this would go long somewhere around here, or maybe they went long on Monday and set their stops right below the low of this day, right? So technically, when stops are being run, they're going to come down here for it, and that's exactly what happened. Now, the wall of stops that might have been set on here is basically sell orders. That's what stops are. Stops are saying sell if this price is touched, or sell if my price is bid. So it represents supply. So when the programs are running and they're looking for stops, they look for walls of supply. So they came down and took this out today. It was a textbook example of what a stop run looks like, and that's just what happens from time to time. There's not much we could do about it. A stop is essentially there to tell you that, look, your thesis is wrong. So you should get out right here, and that's exactly what happened. But it was a beautiful stop out though, textbook. The next trade on the list was VFC. As you can see right here, it's still in play. Thesis is still intact. Still very much holding that upward trend line. We did have some volume coming in today that was a bit greater than yesterday, but it should hold above this level right here. Let me get this. As long as it holds above this level right here, it should be okay. We should see some consolidation here and then a possible test to the upside. We did say there was minor resistance right here, and that area of resistance is still in play, but the area that it's really playing off now in terms of resistance is nowhere near there. It's actually down here. And there's this rule that says when you're looking at possible resistance areas, you should look left. Just keep looking left. If you look far enough left, you'll see exactly where the issue is, and it turns out it's right here. Ran up right into that level yesterday and backed off because it's a previous resistance level of some degree of importance. So that's where the issue is right now, which, as I said, as long as it holds above this level right here, it should consolidate in this area and then possibly make a move back up to try to take out this area. We just see how it goes. So those are the trades that triggered so far this week. We had GMCR, OKS, FB, VFC. The trades that did not trigger this week so far are BG did not trigger, FSLR did not trigger yet. Yeah, that's about it. BG and FSLR did not trigger so far this week. So going forward, we're looking at BABA, which is a trade I actually took today. It triggered and I went in. I was watching this trade for a couple of days. So let me tell you real quick why we're in this trade. So first of all, we have a break of a downward sloping trend line, and it did so on very decent volume. The volume was what got my attention initially. The volume, my system speeded up because of the volume, and once I went to take a closer look at the volume, I realized it did break the downward sloping trend line, sorry. And we also have a situation here where it took out the high off the gap day. Now this is a basic gap play. Whenever you have a gap up or a gap down, well, in this case we have a gap up, one of the simple ways to go about playing that gap is to simply put a line at the top, a high of the gap day, another line at the low of the gap day, and what you want to wait for is a breakout above the high of the gap day to go long, or a breakout below the low of the gap day to go short, as was the case with GMCR, as you saw. But in addition to the fact that we did have this gap up on volume, we did have the break of the downward sloping trend line, and we did have pretty good price action after the gap day. we suggested that there was some upside coming, and so we got long today on BABA. So we'll see how that plays out. Um, my initial target here is around 91.92. So we'll see if we could actually get there and make this happen with BABA. Another trade I'm looking at for tomorrow or Friday, if it does trigger for us, is IDTI. IDTI. Why am I looking at this? Well, first of all, I'm looking at a possible short or put play using the August 21 puts. And I'm looking at it for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that, as you can see here, if you could count with me, IDTI has been going up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days in a row. And then it kind of broke yesterday, had a red day, and then back today with the green. So we're looking at, 11 days up out of the last 12 days. That's a very, very strong up move. It came after a nice volume spike here. So that was a good thing to set it off. That's one of the things I want to point out, that big moves usually start on big volume spikes, and most times they end on big volume spikes as well. For example, if you see a big volume spike into a sell-off, it's usually a sign of exhaustion, and it signals that the trend may be about to change. That happens about, I'd say, about 65, maybe 70% of the times. Not all the time, okay? But big moves typically start with big volume and they end with big volume. They start with big volume and end with big volume. So what we have here, as I said, is 11 of the last 12 days up after a big move up. So definitely this is what started the move. Now, I haven't seen a big volume spike down yet to say that the move is about to end. But what I do see is, one, a tapering off of the volume. Things are settling down a bit. The buyers are kind of backing off just a little bit. It's still very good volume, but it's definitely, rolling over a bit. That's number one. The second thing I see is that we are starting to see the ranges get shorter, especially today and yesterday. Ranges being compressed, meaning that the price ranges between the low and the high are not as big as they were initially when the move just started. So when you see the range starting to compress and the volume starting to taper off, and you're starting to see the top flattening out a bit. When I say flattening out, I mean like this. Okay? When there is a failure to advance much beyond the high, then you know it's possible we could be seeing the price rolling over very soon. But we're looking to get into this one below 21.95, and we're looking to take the August 21 puts if it gets there, if it triggers. We believe that we could have some downside from this one. That's what we're looking at for the rest of the week. IDTI and BABA. We are already in BABA. We're looking to get into IDTI. Let's see here. Okay, so there are a few other trades that popped up on the system earlier, but I did not load them on the charts tonight for various reasons. But if they play out tomorrow, if I do get the kind of price action that would warrant a second look or third look, then I'll definitely put them in emails and send them out so you could get a look at them. Now, in terms of the housekeeping matters, I have been trying for some time now to have a live version of my account, so on the site, so you guys could see it. It was a custom solution. It's been taking a while to put together. There are lots of glitches with I think we had to change the programming language at one point, so that was a big setback. So what I've done is to move over to the C2 platform. So what I'm trying to do here is to link my account on the C2 platform. So going forward, this is it right here. So going forward, you guys will be able to log in at any time of the day and see tick for tick what's in my account, what I'm buying, what I'm selling. Um, the C2 platform is pretty good as far as I can see. We haven't finished the linking process yet, so you'll keep seeing this until everything is completely linked. You'll keep seeing this until both accounts, the C2 platform and the account is completely linked. I have two accounts currently. I use Interactive Brokers and I use Colmex Pro. Um, Colmex Pro is not really compatible with the C2 platform, so I'm thinking I'll have to do some shifting around to get everything into the IB so it could work exclusively through IB and C2. But the main reason for doing this is so that you guys could log in any time of the day and see what's in the account, what's being bought, what's being sold. I used it for the first time yesterday with a GMCR trade, but of course those didn't get filled, so that wasn't a trade recorded. Um, and then I used it today officially for the first time with the BABA trade. As you can see, this is the most recent trade. We bought 10 of those, the June 90 calls at 230. This is the this is the exit target 310. This is stop 190. Of course, they're going to be tagged as working orders because they're not yet filled. What will happen if you're not familiar with the OCA order system? What will happen is that if, for example, the target gets hit, then the other two, then the stop order gets cancelled, or if the stop gets hit, then the target gets cancelled. And that's how it works. So far, we're up we're up $350 so far on the BABA trade. Just a small position, 10. It's really half of what I would normally do, but I was using this platform for the first time, so I just wanted to go light to test it out. What I have done though is for those of you who I will be posting the link to the C2 platform as soon as we get the both accounts linked up, meaning the actual IB account and the C2 platform. I'll be posting the link so you guys could log in directly. But in the meantime, I will be loading screenshots into the members area. So if you go to the open position section, you click, you'll still see the same thing. I'll try to update that every day until the accounts are linked so you guys could get it done. Okay, so that's where we are. That's what we're looking at. We're in BABA, looking at IDTI for tomorrow. I've been looking at a bunch of the airlines that sold off very hard today on heavy volume. The volume was several times average volume today on AAL and DAL and UAL. That's American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines. Big volume like that attracts me for obvious reasons. It shows institutional activity. In this case, I think a lot of the institutions were selling today, the airlines. You might see a slight bounce tomorrow and attempt to rally, but I want to wait a couple of days before I load them in the system to take a closer look at them. So for now, we're just working with BABA, IDTI, and if anything else pops up between now and the open tomorrow, I'll definitely load them and I'll send them in emails so you guys can see what's going on.